WillE made a video last night. I saw we're gonna watch this today. Are we just overreacting to the 58 boost? I am very anti-boost. I'm very, very anti-boost. Let's see what he has to say. Is WillE gonna say we're overreacting or not overreacting? I bet WillE is gonna say we're overreacting. I bet WillE is gonna say we're overreacting. I don't think we are. I don't think we are. Let's play this. Here we go.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. WillE here. First of all, thank you all so much for the great support on...
Hey, by the way, after the video, we're going to log into Shadowlands. We are going to do Time Walking Black Temple. After the video, we're doing it, okay?
The start of the
Alliance
series. It's been really well received,
Alliance.
which I'm super happy about. The next one will be coming out on Tuesday, and it will be Rogue, so look out for that soon. Also, the subs have been steadily growing as well. I don't really say it as often as I should, but thank you to everyone who has supported the channel, and we're getting ever so close to 100k now, so if you're not subscribed, it'd be amazing if you did. So this is going to be a bit more of a discussion type video. Obviously, you've seen the title, and I do see both sides of the argument, and you may think even talking about this kind of thing is a waste of time because I don't expect Blizzard to change the...
Here's the thing. Blizzard's reasoning for the boost is that there are people who tried Classic WoW, they didn't really like it very much, the leveling was too much, and they quit. They didn't even make it to 60 and they quit. So thus, they don't have a 60 character, so we're going to sell them a 58 boost to get them back in the action for Classic TBC. Listen, man, like, those people that quit after a couple days or a couple weeks of Classic and didn't even make it to 60, do you think that they're going to make it from 58 to 70 and play TBC? Come on. Fuck no. Like, do you think they're going to stick, like, are they going to stick around and actually make... Like, dude, you think they're going to have what... Like, are they going to level 12 levels from 58 to 70? If that's the demographic you're trying to appeal to, like, I don't know, man.
The decision, but I think it's good to bring up the boost may affect many more things in the game than you may initially think. Myself personally, I'm somebody who doesn't really have anything to gain from a level boost being made available, and I'm going to be in a tiny minority here because with or without the boost, I already have every class at 60. I'm a bit of a special case, I guess. I mean, after I make my Draenei Shaman, I'm going to be out of character slots, so you know, if we could have a few more of those, that'd be great. And thinking about how boosting's gone in retail, they have existed since Warlords of Draenor, where you were given a free character boost with the purchase of the expansion. Imagine if they made TBC have a price and added a free boost. It could be worse, you know. Of course, I've used them in retail because I've sort of already paid for it and they're free. You would have to be mega hardcore into your MMO experience not to even use that. But I've never paid for an actual boost in retail. And boosting at the time when it came in retail honestly made sense. Due to how you interacted with leveling back then, you'd level through a bit of Classic, and then go on to TBC, get halfway through that, then you're suddenly off to Outland, then Cataclysm. And it was just so scattered and there was no continuity to the stories which you were playing through. You'd always just do half of what you were going through and then it'd be off to the next adventure because you've stopped gaining experience. It was really scattered and didn't make a lot of sense. It's quite ironic then when I think within Shadowlands, where they have made big changes to leveling, that the boost no longer really makes sense, where you have a very contained experience where you can pick any expansion to go from levels 1 to 50, and then moving on to Shadowlands, you pick a Covenant and can go through that story, which I think makes a really great environment for alts. On your Hunter, you could choose the Burning Crusade, level through all of that, get into Shadowlands and be Night Fae. On your Death Knight, you could play through Wrath of the Lich King, get to Shadowlands, join the Necrolords. It makes a lot more sense than it has done in many years. And of course, for Classic, it was confirmed that there would be no level boost, nor will there be on the Classic era server. I mean, how would you even offer a boost on Classic? What, you got to start people at level 55 or something? What would that even entail? Would there just be a bonus XP modifier maybe? XP modifiers, that's interesting actually. Do you remember the Recruit a Friend and...
Dude, like... I get Blizzard's like trying to come up with like some like 5-head excuse to add 58 boosts. Just sell TCG loot. Like just open up an in-game cash shop and sell TCG loot. At least then it doesn't impact the gameplay at all. Just sell fucking Spectral Tigers for $500 or whatever the fuck. Like, man, just like do literally anything other than this. Okay, sell Tabard of Flames and Tabard of Frost. Literally anything other than this shit, dude.
The Burning Crusade.
Get your money. I don't care,
2008.
dude.
That's
keep
post
that shit out of
somewhere
the game.
release and post the experience swish between levels 10 and 60. Get a friend in game or just, you know, buy a second account and get a nice fancy new mount and a 3 times XP modifier. Even on the fan server side of things, with an expansion focus being Wrath of the Lich King or TBC, They near always make you do the old world stuff, granted, very, very often with XP modifiers that the players themselves can change between, say, 1 times, 2 times, 5 times, or whatever it may be. They could just start everybody off at the appropriate level with a set of gear, their mount, but they don't, and that happens for a number of reasons. Of course, their accounts are free, so they have to set up some kind of barrier or they're going to be completely inundated with bots. Then again, aren't we kind of already on our live servers? Aside from all other concerns regarding boosts, it gives bots a fast track to TBC content. Retail with the WoW token and box price is still botted as well, you know, and I don't have as much experience looking into that side of this situation as I do with Classic, but I'd wager if it's worth buying a boost versus the risk of a ban before you can turn a profit, they're gonna do it. And it's once per account, which doesn't matter to a bot in the slightest. The whole purpose of the account...
When you buy a boost, you don't get any higher level professions, right? You don't get like automatic 300 professions. It's just nothing. So if you want to get professions on your freshly boosted 58, you have to double back and still go buy or farm shit in vanilla content. Okay.
Is to run it into the ground before it's banned. And just to reiterate, there are some restrictions on the boost. I'll just quickly show them on screen here in case you aren't aware, to alleviate their use somewhat. The price is also to be determined. You do wonder if this TBC poll was anyway indicative that people were interested in just starting at level 58 too. That would have been on fresh though, so that brings up a whole new set of considerations. It might be a bit too much of a tinfoil hat theory, though maybe not. Fresh though, it may suffer as a result of this decision to offer boosts as well. Only Classic has been given a maybe following the successful release of TBC. I think they will do them personally. If this follows through and trends moving forwards though, it might not be till mid-Wrath of the Lich King for TBC fresh. And you wonder whether the WoW token will be looming in Classic by that point in time. How much will gold really matter by then? You know, I wasn't all that surprised when there was some new monetization added to Classic in all honesty, but at the same time I was surprised that it came in the form of a level boost. Of course, it's a long way since we played TBC back then, if you did at all. The people who are today revisiting those games feel like one of the earlier generations of people who really grew up with online games around them. And I can tell you from my stats on YouTube that I know over half my viewers are over 25. Sorry for the reminder. But you know, the things you hear, jobs, kids, family, less time for hobbies, but more disposable income. And a lot of people just really despise leveling in WoW with a passion. You know the formula by now. Go to an area, pick up quest, kill, collect, escort, repeat. And there are less narratives driven in early WoW content too. Not to say there are none. Think of Lincoln's adventure in Ongoro Crater, the quest series leading up to ZG Island, the first time you got your Drakefire Talisman or Seal of Ascension, Rockdalar Benediction. There's a bunch of really cool quest chains in WoW Classic. You look at Shadowlands now and each zone has a huge story attached to it. Covenant campaigns are questing past level cap for lore. Imagine that. I even know people who have alts in their level 40s in Classic who have heard about the boost and they're just going to pay for the remainder of the way. They like questing that little. And we've seen how players have interacted with leveling throughout Classic. People have started their own fresh initiatives on some servers because they're so desperate to get that proper early game feel of an MMO again. Whereas so many others have sat in Scarlet Monastery, Maradon, ZG, watching some Netflix whilst they...
Do you think that, like maybe on a subconscious, deep, psychological level, for a lot of people, leveling a character naturally 1 to 60 is way less fun because they know people with a lot of gold are sitting inside of Maradon getting boosted while AFK? So my question is, do you think that if they broke boosting, making the only viable leveling method to quest and play the game, that leveling for a lot of people would be a more enjoyable and justifiable experience? For me, yes. Like, it's kind of like frustrating to run around and do quests knowing that this is not an efficient use of my time. There's a better way to spend my time, right? I'm like, the whole 58 boost thing, I'm opposite. I wish they would not add the 58 boost and then also break dungeon XP. I think they should force people to go and level again, actually normally, and play the game.
mage grinds out the levels.
Maybe I'm in the minority. I don't know.
Boosting has become extremely popular, on the same level as world buffs, I would say. Another casualty of no changes, which has been allowed to exist for too long. There's boosting, sure, but then there's pulling over 300 to 400 mobs at once. You can have a bit too much of a good thing. And there are a lot of people who aren't so invested in this conversation at all that just want to, you know, play the game in the evening. I'd imagine that'll be a larger number of people who are going to be picking up a boost. But even if you are more invested in the game, this brings up some new points for you as well. Are you going to pay to fast track a professional to get them ready for launch day? Are warriors and rogues looking at that credit card right now with images of warlocks and hunters in their mind? I did a poll, of course. Thank you all so much for responding to it. Got an absolutely enormous amount of votes on it, and I'm not able...
Look at this. Look at this. 20k votes. 60% of these people are going to buy a boost. 20,000 people. 60% of the people will buy a boost. A lot of people are going to be buying a boost. The point is, there's going to be a lot of boosted characters.
To answer all the comments on them. I tend to just get a lot of comments on stuff in general, but I do always read them also. Thank you so much for doing that. And the split was, I'd say, fairly to be expected. 60% yes, 40% no. I honestly thought the yes would be higher, but this shows you the volume of players who are in the camp of returning to the game, don't want to level or re-rolling, or are picking up a profession alt. This also excludes the huge number of players who are going to be playing a Blood Elf or a Draenei, and people really interact with the game differently today too compared to how they did back then. I don't even think I knew that raids were a thing in vanilla. That's the type of player I was. Internet pages took so long for me to load that I just never bothered to look things up, as it would just lag the game out and make it unplayable. Yes, it really was that bad. I lived in the middle of the country where broadband was considered a new innovation. They only got fiber there last year. And vanilla, for the majority of the game, in my opinion at least, is before level 60. I've heard many stories of people who have rushed to 60 and just burned themselves out in no time because, well, there's just less to do at level cap than in retail expansions. You may think I'm crazy with all my level 60s that I don't even play, but there are people who do all the raid content every week on 3 to 4 characters. Some people even do the raid content on multiple of the same class each week. I mean, I don't hate the raid content, but that's crazy to me. I'd be burned out in less than a month. Though granted, TBC does do a good job in extending the endgame in a number of ways. We have arenas, our new raids, rep grinds for attunement, new reasons to re-level professions, dailies, and so on and so forth. And several things were set to happen at the start of TBC that would have really revived the level 1 to 58 world, assuming they were all in the pre-patch of course. Lower experience requirements between 10 and 60, mage boosting effectively removed by the AoE caps, though they would have been replaced by paladins. Paladins aren't going to be doing 300 to 400 mob pulls.
Dude, I'm just thinking, like, Blizzard would make so much fucking money if they offered 58 boosts and also WoW tokens. Because all these players coming back for TBC are going to have 58 boost. They're going to have no gold. Like, are these people... I mean, fuck. Are these people going to want to farm gold for TBC? They're not going to have their epic mount. They're going to be level 58. They don't have an epic mount. They have no gold for a flying mount or an epic flying mount. They don't have professions. They couldn't even make it to 60 in classic WoW. So they're gonna be fucking clueless, right? So, man, Blizzard, hey, you could make so much fucking money if you sold WoW tokens too.
And Mara, or pulling all the tigers and crocs in ZG. A number of questing zones would have been made much easier and more accessible by having less elites in the area as well. Even in Wrath of the Lich King, where one of the key words of the expansion, for me at least, was accessibility, they did not add boosts. They had heirlooms, which were 20% bonus XP and bought using earlier tiers of badges that were available. And those badges were a choice early on. You had to grind endgame level content, and then you decide, do I want an item upgrade for my main, or do I want to play an alt? I'm going to get some more badges and buy one of these heirloom pieces and send that over to them to improve my leveling experience. There has also been a trend of speeding up leveling over time, but it wasn't till WoW's 5th expansion, Warlords of Draenor originally, did we ever get the option to fully skip it out. In the Burning Crusade, Blood Elf and Draenei have a...
I guarantee you, man. Yo. It's going to be day 1 of Classic TBC. You're in Hellfire Peninsula. You're going to be looking for one more DPS or one healer for your goddamn Ramparts run. Hey, I'll heal for you. You'll shift left click his name. Level 58. Do not invite. Fuck that shit.
Starting zone. They could have been hero races that started at level 55, like a certain class did in Wrath of the Lich King, where the player would have been given a short introduction to their motivations and why they've joined the factions
Boycott
they have.
the boosters.
But they didn't
true.
receive that. They started at level 1. Blizzard know they have to add restrictions where you cannot boost them now either, because so many people would just skip out leveling. I imagine many players will be hyped for the launch of TBC who left Classic early, or are just starting out now, and will be leveling the 2 new races all the way to 60.
Do you think boosts will help prevent artificial inflation of cloth and transmutes to make it... Okay, I was up late last night. I will tell you what I did. I spent 4 hours last night doing a bunch of math. Unironically doing math. I logged in on 3 different TBC private servers, and I took the price of all different spell cloths, primal mites, the mats to make the cloth, the mats to make the mites, the cooldowns, and I'm gonna make a video talking about doing meth. I was up all night doing meth. No. I'm gonna finish this video tonight. The TLDR, the takeaway is, at current gold prices, it is literally cheaper to make a new WoW account. At current gold prices, it is cheaper to make a new WoW account, buy a boost, and pump out professional shit than buying gold. Like dollar for dollar, it is cheaper to do that over 1 month than it is to buy gold. You have no idea how detrimental these boosts are for this game. It's fucking terrible. Like, so it's wild. So you'll be able to watch that video tomorrow morning. But let's finish this for now. But yeah, I'll answer your question in that video tomorrow morning, okay?
Even in the pre-patch when they're first introduced, does that sentiment and level of excitement just not hold true for every other class then for the expansion? Of course, I'm not expecting Blizzard to say, okay guys, you've convinced us, we don't want your money after all. They'll have the numbers though, won't they? How many people started Classic and never made it to Endgame because of the grind? Things cropping up in real life, maybe even in-game factors like server balance or Phase 2 World PvP. And I'm sure it'll be a decision a lot of people are happy to see so they can just pick up the game and get straight into the new content, but that doesn't make it a good decision for the game as a whole.
Here's my thing, okay? They're gonna have what is probably a month-long pre-patch that they said they're explicitly adding so that people can level up their Draenei and level their Blood Elves in preparation for the Dark Portal opening. When pre-patch comes out, the XP from level 20 to level 60 is nerfed by 20%. It's easier to level up to 60 in the pre-patch. They should be marketing the pre-patch as a time and make it 6 weeks. I don't know. They should market the pre-patch as, hey, if you didn't like Classic, if you're new to TBC, there's nerfed XP rates, come back, level up a Draenei, level up a Blood Elf. If you don't want to play one of those races, level up your character. It's nerfed XP. It's faster to get to 60. Come back and catch up.
20 what?
Right?
So cock.
Rather than, because right now their angles are, there's so many people that didn't like vanilla, come back and play TBC, get caught up immediately, 58 boost, and then also, on the next breath, hey, we're going to have a month-long pre-patch where you can level up your Blood Elf and Draenei 1 to 70, no boosts, and we're going to make it enough time for you to catch up. Like, but like they're saying both of those at the same time. Bitch, just let people do the pre-patch leveling. It's faster, it's easier, it's less XP, 1 to 60, whatever. Just do it. Like, they're having their cake and eating it too, dude.
Over time, Blizzard have moved from designing a world to designing a patch. With each new piece of content coming out, the last is forgotten about, like some kind of scorched earth policy. Raid replaces raid, one daily hub replaces the next. The new temporary power grind replaces the last. And players are really starting to notice this trend in retail as well, and how quickly content becomes obsolete. I hear you saying though, yeah, I did it all back then, I don't really want to do the grind again, but come on, it was 15 years ago now. I don't think there's anything wrong with having some grind in your MMORPG. It wouldn't have been so bad.
People already don't like classic leveling and you want them to still do it? Question mark, question mark? Okay, well, I don't like raiding Naxxramas. I wish I could just buy the gear. They should do that. I don't like PvPing. I wish I could just buy with my credit card rank 14 gear. Right? Like, where that's the game, okay? This is the game. If you don't like it, maybe just don't play the game. Like, what do you want me to tell you, dude? Like, if you don't like leveling, that sucks. I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know.
Either with
That's
the
the
XP
game.
nerfs already put in place. I mean, I'd take heirlooms as a reward for badge gear in TBC. At least it would give you a motivation to play one character to endgame before you look to level your ults. Not to be overly rose-tinted, of course, there are reasons why Blizzard moved to speeding up old world leveling in subsequent expansions, which I understand. And of course I've seen the votes on my own poll, so I know my opinion on this won't be the most popular, but I fully see why you would want a boost, so hopefully you can see why I think it's not good for the game as a whole. On an individual player level, you may be thinking great, but for Classic, not so much. There were other avenues which could have achieved a similar effect.
Hey, Tarkle, I appreciate it, man.
Recruit a friend,
thank you, dude. Thank you, man.
And so on. So there we go. Surprisingly, the guy who has leveled a bunch of characters to 60 thinks the boost is bad. Who would have thought? What a shocker. Anyways, I just wanted to get that out as I had a few more thoughts on the subject.
I stand with WillE.
About the whole boost below, whether you will intend to be using one, and how you think it will affect the game as well. That's it though. As always, thank you all so much for watching and listening in, and I'll see you in the next one very soon.
Nice one, WillE. Guys, WillE is almost 100k subs. He's at 93. You guys should all go sub. I stand with WillE. Stop the boost. Hashtag stop the boost. Stop it. And also, they should nerf Dungeon XP too. Blizzard should introduce a poll system for subscribers. I mean, here's the thing. You saw his poll. If Blizzard did that, like, the boost would still be in the game. People are going to vote for that. Of course they are. I think if Blizzard had a poll system similar to RuneScape, we would have fucking WoW token right now. We would have WoW token. I mean, like, dude, Blizzard has so many other ways to monetize, like, ways for Blizzard to monetize classic TBC that doesn't fuck everything up as much as paid 58 boosts. Okay? I understand it's a very long title. Okay? Ways. Sell old TCG items. Okay? This is like Spectral Tiger. If I can fucking this is tabards. This is like the little toys they have, like the Goblin Gumbo kettle. This is whatever, okay? If they want to open up a cash shop, fucking sell them. Who cares? Who gives a fuck, okay? Who gives 1/10 of one fuck? Who cares? Is it better than 58 boosts? Yes, it is, okay? Next up, what do they have? That's a man. Wait, hey, sir, step back. I want to see your man dress. Hey, step back, sir. I think he's lost. Okay, whatever. What else was I gonna say? He ran off? Fuck. Recruit a friend. Okay? Like, there he is. Can you guys see that? Wait, look. Oh, there he is. Nice. Looking good. Yeah, recruit a friend, okay? So they actually added this back in late TBC, and what you got for this was 1 month free sub. If you recruited a friend, you got a zebra mount, which is like a zebra, and you got, well, I think it was a 50% XP bonus while grouped with your friend that you recruited. Okay, it was some percent XP bonus. And so, oh, you know what else you got? Dude, I got reported for this, actually. I totally forgot about this. Okay, here's what they did. Here's what it was. It was 300%. Okay, so it was 300% XP bonus while grouped, but also, okay, this is what was fucking crazy. Every 2 levels your friend got, they gave you 1 free level you could use on any of your characters. You could just boost yourself 1 level. Remember that? So for every 2 levels your friend gets, I can just, boom, immediately level 1 free level. So I remember I saved up like 20 levels. I stockpiled them, and I made a level 1. And I took the level 1 to Stormwind. I sat there in the middle of Stormwind, and I was like, leveling. I got reported. I actually got reported. I remember a GM talked to me. He's like, hey, just by the way, you got reported. We're not going to do anything. We know what you're doing, but just FYI. Like, I had a GM fucking talk to me. People thought I was like hacking, because this is like day 3 of the recruiter friend thing. You reported people for that. It was fucking awesome. So, while grouped. So, I don't know. It's like, this is something that was already in TBC, and, you know, if like the whole premise of the boost thing is like, we understand you have friends that might want to play TBC that maybe didn't like vanilla so much. Okay, give them the 300%. give them the 300% XP bonus, and this way, you have a reason to play with your friend, right? You level up with your friend. I think you had free summons also. You had free summons to... It was like one free summon per hour. You could summon your friend to you or whatever, right? So, free summon for your friend. It was kind of a cool little program, so... And then this way, like, people don't get a boost for... They haven't said how much the 58 boosts are going to cost. I would speculate probably $60, because if you log into retail right now, it's, what is it, $60. I'm with you. Even though I'm not a fan of the boosts, I hope these boosts are as expensive as possible. I hope they're 10,000. I hope they're $1 million to boost a 58 character, because what does that do? It disincentivizes people from doing them. The worst thing they could do is come out and say, all right, guys, you can boost a level 58 character for $10. Everyone's gonna, like, everyone would fucking do it. It's so cheap. Like, how of course everyone would boost a character for $10. It'd be so hard not to, right? So, I don't know. They should do both of these things. Just get rid of the boosts and add both of these. Add the recruiter friend, add the TCG shit. Who cares? Like, just don't do the fucking boost, man. It's so stupid and brain dead.